Okay. Good morning, Purnell.
Good morning, Cheryl.
Morning, Purnell.
Good morning, Nan.
Okay, who's representing community development or the development department today? Hey, Sonny.
Hello, my name is Prentice Jackson. I will be representing the community development supplemental grant information.
Okay, thank you. I'm just used to seeing Paul or Sarah. You're a new face for me.
Nice to meet
Ms.
you.
Stevens, I'll be representing community development on behalf of the CDBG awards.
Okay, and Prentice, you're doing the supplemental grants?
Correct.
Okay.
And hi, it's Janine again. The meeting is now live streaming, and you can start whenever you and Ashley are ready.
Okay, thank you. Good morning.
Janine, Madam Chair, I'm here. I don't know if you took attendance yet. Probably not.
No, I'm just
cool.
starting.
Cool. Good morning. Thank you.
Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the Cuyahoga County Community Development Committee meeting. It's Monday, April 19th at 10 a.m. Would you call the roll, please, Madam Clerk?
On the roll, Ms. Stevens.
Present.
Mr. Jones.
Here.
Ms. Simon.
Here.
Mr. Gallagher.
What's the name?
Mr. Gallagher.
Here.
Ms. Baker.
Here.
You have a quorum.
I have a quorum and we're all present. Is there any public comment that was emailed to us?
No, Madam Chair, no one submitted any public comment.
I'd like to have approval of the meeting minutes if they're acceptable to my colleagues. Have they been reviewed? Are there any questions or comments, or are they fine to move forward?
Move to adopt.
Second.
Thank you. If there's no further comment, all in favor of approval?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? The minutes are approved. At this time, there were matters referred to the committee. Madam Clerk?
Resolution number 2021-0097, making awards to various municipalities and nonprofit organizations in the total amount of $1,445,040.45 for various projects or programs in connection with the 2021 Community Development Supplemental Grant Program for the period April 1st, 2021 to March 31st, 2022.
Thank you. Mr. Jackson, are you representing community development on this issue today?
Yes, I am.
If you'd like to say a few words or make a presentation, now's the perfect time.
Thank you. Thank you, County Council. Thank you, Department of Development, Sarah Parks Jackson and Paul Herdick for their support in this effort. The Community Development Supplemental Grant for 2021. The process began Tuesday, September 15th with the release of the application during the Department of Development's grant information session held on that same day, September 15th. The responses were due January 8th, and of those responses, we received 30 applications, which is down from 52 received in 2019, and also down from 37 received in 2018, which may be due to the current conditions of the COVID pandemic we're currently experiencing. 22 communities and 8 nonprofits were of the 30 applications that were received, for a total requested of $1,445,042. We've noticed within the last 3 years of the information now available that the top three categories remain parks, playgrounds, and gardens, streetscapes, and community centers.
Nothing special jumps out at you?
No, not at this particular time. We've noticed that there has been a decline in the number of applications. Again, that is due to the coronavirus pandemic and the delays in contracting work that has been experienced with the last contracts of 2020.
So some of the money that was awarded in 2020 was not fully expended? Is that what you're telling me?
Correct.
Okay.
We're still in the process of working those out. But some of those applicants did not, they haven't expended their funds for other programs as well. And during, conversations with them to see why many of them haven't applied for this year, they were having issues with their last award. So they didn't want to, pursue
We had
an award.
37 apply last time.
We had 52 applied last in 2019.
And so are you saying, is 22 of them still had work to be done on their last applications?
No, of the 52 that applied last time, there were only 33 that were
awarded?
Yes.
Okay. That completes my questions. I'd like to open the floor to my colleagues. Do any of you have questions on this?
Madam Chair?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Of the 30 that were awarded, that applied, all 30 were awarded. Did that leave additional money still in the fund? And if so, how much?
Are you speaking of the 2020 awards?
I'm speaking of this current award.
Okay, the current award. So we received the 30 applications. And yes, it does seem that we do have a small bit of extra funds that can be attributed to another project.
How much did we allocate for this pool, these applications? We're awarding 1.4. Did we allocate like 1.6, 1.8?
I believe it's 1.5 at the moment.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right. Is there an opportunity or process for any remaining monies to be allocated, or how will those dollars be allocated?
That is something that I can speak with our administrator, Sarah Parks Jackson, about, that we may be able to fund another project if we have those funds available. I'm not sure of that process, but I will definitely discuss that with our administrator.
Sarah is online. So Ms. Jackson, could you tell us what your standard process is when you have extra funds?
Yes, good morning, Council Committee, Sarah Parks Jackson, Department of Development. Generally, funds that remain or funds that are recouped during the year, we will carry that forward into the next year. We weren't able to carry forward last year's because we extended those contracts and they don't expire until July. So once we make the determination at the end of July, who used all their funds or who used partial funds, then anything that is left over, including the balance of the awards we're asking you to approve today, will carry forward into next year and will be added to the 1.5 million that this council has allocated for this program. And then next year we'll be able to do more than 30 projects because we'll have the additional funds in hand.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. Mr. Jones, is there anything else you'd like to ask?
No, not at this time. Thank you.
Clerk, did you recognize that Councilman Miller had joined us?
No, I did not. I was going to do that when we had a break, but thank you.
My colleague, Mr. Miller, is now online.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
thank you very much. And just a couple of comments. One is that I do think by next year that there's going to be a good amount of pent-up demand out there for these projects. So I think we'll get a lot of applications and we'll be able to use that extra money that's generated. And the second thing is that that for this year's projects, people that I've talked to in the communities are chomping at the bit and ready to get started. And so I would encourage that we think about recommending this for second reading suspension so that they can get going. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Ms. Baker?
No, I have nothing to add, only that I agree with Councilman Miller that there is a lot of pent-up anxiety that would like to get going on projects that perhaps they've stalled or anticipated and now would like to proceed. So I agree, we should move forward.
Ms. Simon, did you have anything?
Just, yeah, I support a suspension also, but there's a couple communities that were denied the grant. Is that because of the scoring process or what is, especially because we have money left over? I thought there were some communities that were not awarded.
I wasn't aware of that this year.
So 100% got the
This year,
supplemental.
now previous years, last year, for example, we did not fund some groups, but this year I thought we did 100%.
Yes.
It's all 100, for some reason I thought the city of Lyndhurst applied for this one, but it might've been CDBG. So, okay, so we've got 100% applications and awards. Okay. And then the year we're suspending, hopefully vote for this, and they'll have until when to complete. Is there a deadline on the project, or we just let them, because of COVID, we're extending that and working with communities. What about this time?
This particular deadline is 3/31 of 2022.
Okay. And in the past, are they able to do this typically, or are there times, obviously, when they can't, despite COVID, finish up, and what happens?
Well, we've had projects that have may have had an extension due to delays within their contracting period. We haven't had many of those though, so I've seen maybe 2 have come through with an extension to their contract.
Okay, good. All right, thank you.
At this time, if there are no further comments by my colleagues, can I hear a motion?
Madam Chair, I do have one question.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Jones.
Thank you. I'd like to get a sense of when the bidder actually receives these dollars. On this legislative side, obviously this will be approved at our next council meeting, which would be, I guess that's the 27th. So it's approved by us on the 27th. Do you have a sense of when, from our approval on recommendation for approval on the 27th of this month, how long from that moment to when these dollars are actually issued? Can you give us a sense of how that timeline goes to receive that money and how long it might be?
Well, I haven't been a facilitator of this program for quite a long time. However, the information I do have is that once ground is broken on some of these projects, then the following month we should receive reimbursements for these eligible expenses. For this last award for 2020, we've had them trickle in at different times. It's not been steady because of the COVID pandemic. So I don't really have any concrete information to provide any patterns of reimbursement activity.
Ms. Jackson, on average, once a community has completed their work and when they submit their request for reimbursement, how long does it take to get them reimbursed?
Madam Chair, generally, it will take 2 to 3 weeks for them to receive a reimbursement. That was during normal times. The reimbursement package is submitted to staff. Staff will review for accuracy and to ensure that all the required documentation has been submitted. As long as everything is there that we have to have and the numbers add up and match, then that is submitted to our fiscal division and development for them to prepare the necessary voucher to go to the Cuyahoga County fiscal for the check to be cut. So as long as everything works the way it's supposed to, it's about a 3-week turnaround. We only do reimbursements. We do not cut checks ahead of time. So, and all of the organizations are aware of that. A lot of times the organizations, because it's $50,000, will not submit partials. They wait until the project is completed and they will submit a reimbursement request to us for the full $50,000 so that we can process and close it out.
Okay, so that's typically 3 weeks from the moment they submit, I guess, some sort of paid invoice for the work they've done.
Right, what they have to submit to us is, we call it a reimbursement package. So there's a form that we have that must be completed. They must provide us with an invoice indicating the dates of service, the amount that they are requesting. And they also must provide backup to that in the form of a canceled check or evidence of wire transfer that they actually paid the contractor or contractors for the work done. And then our staff again reviews that to make sure I's are dotted, T's are crossed, and then we submit for payment.
Appreciate it. Okay, thank you, Sarah.
You're very welcome.
Okay, any further questions? If not, can I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion that we move this to the full council under second reading suspension.
Second.
Thank you. There's a first and a second. Any other discussion? Hearing no other discussion. All in favor, aye.
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 Any opposed, nay? Hearing no nays, this resolution moves forward to County Council. Madam Clerk, next we are reviewing the Community Development Resolution.
Resolution number 2021-0098, making awards to various municipalities in the total amount of $1,788,781.39 for various municipal grant projects in connection with the 2020 Community Development Block Grant Municipal Grant Program for the period May 1st, 2021 to April 30th, 2022.
Ms. Fegan, is this the one you're going to speak to us on?
Good morning. Yes, Ms. Stevens, thank you. So good morning, committee. My name is Kate Feehan. I'm here with the Department of Development. And for consideration, we'd like to present the awards for the 2020 Municipal Grant Program for approval of council. So this program is funded by federal community development block grant funds, which are allocated to the county. And of the county's 59 political subdivisions, 6, Cleveland, East Cleveland, Cleveland Heights, Euclid, Lakewood, and Parma, they receive their own allocation of CDBG funds. So 51 communities are members of the urban county. Hunting Valley and Brecksville don't participate. So we have an urban county agreement, and that states that a minimum of 40% of the entitlement funds given to Cuyahoga County will be allocated for this municipal grant program. And what this does is we fund eligible community development activities, programs, and projects in these participating communities. So this is a competitive annual process, and it's open to the 51 members of the urban county. So our process opened, as Mr. Jackson mentioned. We had an opening meeting there in September, and our applications for the program, for the CDBG program, were due on December 11th of 2020. So this year we had 22 applications received, with a total ask of a little bit over $3.1 million. So this year we have been authorized to award $1.8 million. So we have a review committee, and that's comprised of representatives from the Department of Development, the Department of Public Works, the Planning Commission, and the CSU College of Urban Affairs. So the review committee thoroughly reviewed each of the applications received, and then the review committee met and scored each application. As such, we are recommending the top 12 scoring applications for funding, and that's in the total amount of $1,788,781.39. So I'm open to any questions.
Okay, thank you. Do any of my colleagues have questions at this time?
If I may ask, Chair, Nan
Yes.
Baker,
Go ahead, Ms. Baker.
how many applied for this out of the number that we have here of, looks like 12?
So 22 communities applied for this funding.
22, and was it
22 out of the 51 applied.
22 out of 51?
So we were able to fund, right, so we were able to fund 12 out of the 1.8 million that was allocated.
Okay, and it looks like most of these are 150,000, a few are a little less. Is there a reason why some of these are less?
Well, some of the applications may come in less than or some of the projects may come in less than 150,000, or some of the projects may have other funding that cover more. So the communities can choose to apply for a maximum of 150,000, but they're welcome to apply for less.
Okay, so those that
Than that.
received a blank 150,000, no odd amount, they just went for the max and perhaps have other
Correct.
funding to add to it.
Yes.
Okay. Chair, if I may just add one other
Yes, go
question.
ahead.
So of the others that did not receive, were there any close ones that you wish you would have added or could have added and didn't? Or were they these 12 pretty far away from everyone else?
Well, ma'am, we went with the recommendation of the scores and with the total amount that we were allocated. So we had a hard stop on the scoring, and we didn't have funds to award any others.
I understand. Thank you, Chair. I just was curious to know if you had 14 or 15 that you would have had funding for, would this list have been longer because they were so close in the scoring that we just had to drop off at 12? That's all I'm asking.
Okay. Are there any other questions? Okay. Hearing no other questions, there are 12 communities that we're going to be spending almost 1.8 million with. Do I hear a motion from my colleagues?
I'll make that motion, Nan Baker.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Simon. Hearing the motion, and I'm presuming this one needs to be expedited as well, Ms. Fian or Fegan?
Fian.
Fian.
And yes, please.
Okay, so we move forward with this expedited. Is that okay with you, Ms. Baker?
Yes, it is.
All in favor of this motion, aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, nay? Hearing no nays, this motion for community development block grant municipal grant funding has been moved forward to County Council's April 27th meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you both for your presentations today. Thank you, Ms. Jackson. Are there any other issues today? I don't see anything else on my agenda. There's no miscellaneous business. So I'd like to thank my colleagues for their attendance and thank staff for participating. If there are no other issues for discussion, I'm open for a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Gallagher. And there's a second. Thank you. We are, I believe we are adjourned. We don't necessarily need to have a vote on that. So I want to thank you for your attendance, and I will see some of you at the Economic Development Committee meeting this afternoon. Thank you for your attendance. Bye-bye.
Bye, Chair.
Bye.
Thank you.